think River City is hopefully a pretty fair and pretty accurate reflection of Scottish life and Scottish society.
Suddenly the storyline will just grip you, and that'll be you. You'll be hooked.
I love River City. You've got funny storylines and dramatic ones. It's really difficult to pick a favourite moment.
I remember watching River City before I was even in it, and it was on the telly, and it was Ruth and Iona's cat fight.
Ruth attacked Iona in the street for having an affair with Marty, and she went for her.
Will you shut up? No!
Without a doubt, that was one of my favourite storylines, but that's just me.
When Ewan fell off the scaffolding, I was just like, oh my God, it was such a shock.
The best death is obviously Ewan off the scaffolding.
I'm sorry.
It was a major tragedy for Lenny. I think you've just got to try and find the reality all the time. And if you can find the reality, the emotions come with it anyway.
It was the poignancy of Lenny actually realising how much he loved his son.
Aye.
It really pulled on the heartstrings.
It's a great comfort when you're in a scene with someone who you know so well and you've worked with for years and years and years. So any of those stories are my favourites.
They have this really good way of making it about the whole community. So for instance, if Scarlett had her cancer storyline, it affects the whole community because she's such a big character.
When Scarlett was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, shortly afterwards, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. When she was getting her chemotherapy, I was getting my chemotherapy, and she was getting a wig, and I had to get a wig and all that kind of thing.
You've got a man that loves you and a family that cares about you. You can't shut us out.
That was really quite emotional, and Sally and I have a very good relationship anyway, you know, and it was just like it was my own daughter.
That was probably the most challenging thing I've ever done in the show. It was heavy going, but really good, I think, hopefully.
It actually helped me because I knew that it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, you know. It was a comfort.
I think a good storyline in River City is the mixture of tragedy and comedy.
Comedy and drama, yep, and everything in between.
I would say that it's Gallus. River City is Gallus.
Will you marry me, Bob Adams?
Of course I will.
My favourite wedding in River City was wee Bob and Stella's. I thought it was very romantic. He kept it all a secret.
The two of them sneaked away and get married in the fly and just arranged like a kind of party.
Bob and Stella Adams.
I can imagine how Scarlett was annoyed with that.
Everyone was like celebrating and all that, apart from Scarlett. She got up, walked up to Bob and just gave him a big soap opera slap to the face. Classic Scarlett moment, I thought.
But Sally's actually a very gentle soul. She was terrified she was going to hurt the wee man, but thankfully she did. No, she didn't, but...
What makes a good storyline for me is got to be dramatic, playing a lot with consequences of things that happen.
The one that really stood out for me was when Liz killed her son.
Get away from me! And he wasn't even dead, but we thought we'd killed him. And I mean, what was Jenna going to do, let the old woman go to jail?
Eileen and Gina wrapped him in the rug in the big hall,
right.
dumped him over the cliff, and you thought, well, that's it, he's dead.
Lo and behold, Archie then ends up in a hotel as Douglas Buchanan.
Archie!
What a storyline.
You didn't quite know
if he did have
amnesia or if he was back for revenge.
It was really edge of the seat stuff.
And it became a story about women looking after each other in a strange kind of way. So I'm dead proud of it.
River City is the only Scottish soap, and it depicts real life.
It's a Scottish drama, made in Scotland and for all of Scotland.
My favourite moment of late was the wedding of Liz and Malcolm.
Malcolm had dementia and Liz was the only one that knew about it apart from his daughters. I think she realised that she really wanted them to be together.
I've worked in care of the elderly for a lot of years and I've seen a lot of dementia and it rings really true.
My mind may be playing up, but my heart's as strong as ever. And I love you with my whole heart.
Johnny Beattie and Eileen McCallum, who play the characters, were just fantastic. And, you know, every time they filmed the shot of them saying I do, I was in actual tears. No tear stick required. It was very emotional and sweet.
Celebrate a decade of drama from River City. Vote for your favourite moment online now at bbc.co.uk/River City.